Huh? You need 3 pieces of patty paper each. If you did not get 3 for each person in your group, come back. Each person in your group needs 3 pieces of patty paper. Okay? So, here's what you're going to do with this patty paper. First off, what do you notice about the patty paper? Billy? It's what? It's also called parchment paper. This specifically is called patty paper because it goes in between patties of burgers. Right? It separates patties of burgers. That's literally where it comes from. But it is also parchment paper. But look at it. Listen. What should we notice maybe about the patty paper that might be useful with drawings? It's kind of see-through, isn't it? So look, if I put this here, what can I do with that angle now? Can I trace that angle?
Yeah.
And so notice what it's asking you to do is, and it's going to be easier when you're laying it down there, but copy your angles. Copy all 3 of them, each on a different piece of patty paper, and then try to find a way to arrange it maybe to show that the sum of those angles should be 90 degrees. So you need 3 different pieces of paper, draw your 3 angles, and figure out a way to stack the paper to show that it's going to be 90 degrees for the sum. Follow those directions, right, on that paper, but draw your 3 angles. So you need to draw angle A, you need to draw angles B and C as well. I would also label your angles, by the way. That will help. Label those angles. DeAndre, we know we're on 1.2, right? Yes, ma'am. Why are you confused? That's not the full angle. Wait, you know we're on 1.2. Right, you just copy the angle. You may want to use something that's 0.7 or 0.9. Okay. So draw all 3 of your angles. I will make a note, you will probably, when you use patty paper like this, you do want to use pencils. And I prefer 0.5 millimeter lead on my mechanical, but you will probably want 0.7 or 0.9 for these drawings. Have you got all 3 of your angles? Dude, I don't see an angle there. You may need to get another pencil too, because it's not drawn very well. As I said, you need like a 0.7 or a 0.9 for your pencil, or even the little pencils. Hey, where's an angle there, bud? You know we're on 1.2, right? That's what I said. I got it. Well, then once I said that, why didn't you fix it? I know you're more capable than this. And so there's angle A. Draw all 3 of your angles. See if you can find a way to show that their sum should be 90. I mean, does that look like a 90-degree angle? So remember, we're trying to show that their sum is 90. How can we show that? How is that showing that their sum is 90? What about if you do this?
I gotta go potty.
What about it? You got it? So make sure that the rest of your group sees it then. Okay, so you're just kind of stacking it, right? But does that look like 90 degrees?
Okay.
And where's that? What if we this way? Where they share a side like that. See if you can keep that up. No, work with Kate. Because I just worked with her on one thing to help. That's not the issue. You're not doing what we need to. You need to be more accurate with your drawing, but like, how is it right here? Is that way adding those two angles like that? What do we still need to do?
I got it.
What you mean?
Who said they got it?
Make that short.
Was it one of y'all?
Like it.
Yes, sir.
Like this? I just did that.
Very good, quickly. Yes, that's where. Have you figured it out? Does that look like it might be a right angle? Well, you have a protractor, don't you?
Oh, yeah. It looks like
Oh. I didn't see that there.
Yours
Might be that line. Oh, there we go. Does that look like it's 90? Measure it out. I like what I'm seeing. Look at Kyla working together with her group, actively collaborating.
Thank you. Let me do that. I don't know what else to do. I'm hungry. Oh, chicken.
Okay? So, for those who have figured it out, what can you do to show that their sum is 90 degrees? Okay, so that was mathematically, like numerically what we did, but what am I going to do with my 3 pieces of paper to add them up?
We put the, let's see about the first angle, we put it down, and then we took the
So
first,
so you did what with these two?
okay, so we put the, okay, I'm sorry. We lined up the first angle like how it looks on the sheet,
Okay,
and then we took the first.
so like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we took the first line of the second of angle B.
Okay, so there's that. Then you took angle B,
Yeah, and put the first line, lined it up with the second line there.
kind of like that.
Yeah, and then did the same thing with angle C.
Huh, what does that look like if I go from here to there? That look like a 90-degree angle?
Yeah.
Emily, what did you do to check to see if it was close to 90?
We used for contractors. I got like 91, but I think it's
Oh, interesting. Trent, so what did they say over there? Yeah, what did they say over there? You have no idea what they said. Were you paying attention? How are you going to grow and learn that way? Kyla, what are every single one of my students in this classroom? But Thomas, what do we need to do to realize how capable we are? We got to pay attention. We got to engage. When Emily's sharing ideas, I need y'all to hear me very clearly on this, and this is not just Emily. If anyone is sharing ideas, you should be doing 2 things. You should be thinking about, hey, can I adopt that thinking, or do I want to push back on that thinking, or could I even add on to that thinking? Because when you are, hold on, when you are doing that, when you are listening in and you are adding on to or pushing back on or going, oh dang, that makes sense, you are growing and learning. But if you're not listening, you can't do those things. If you're not doing that, you're not going to grow and learn. You're capable. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Yes, ma'am?
I know exactly.
You got exactly 90 degrees. Emily got 91. Go ahead and check. Now stacking yours up. See if you do get that 90 degrees. Or at least get close. Should be close. One thing I might do, because you're probably not going to hold on to this patty paper, what I might do, and you can put it in your notebook, but one thing I might do is I might show 3 different angles, right, where you're sharing a side like this, and show you how they're creating that 90 degrees, right? So 2 angles, share one side. Other 2 angles share this side. All together make what kind of angle? A right angle, which has 90 degrees. Oh, here's actually a good detail. Anybody know what angles are called when they share one common side like that?
Nah.
So, all 3 adjacent, that's the term. Adjacent. The term adjacent just means that they are next to. Like your neighbors who lives next to you, they are adjacent to your house. Okay, so that term adjacent just means next to. So all 3 adjacent angles create a right angle.
You put this on number 3.
It's true. Emily is adjacent to you right now. Say again, Thomas. Yes, under number 3, notice I would show my 3 angles. It may not look exactly like I drew it, but notice I just drew 3 adjacent angles. And it's not perfect, but is that angle close to 90?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm making that note that all 3 adjacent angles create a right angle. If you didn't know what it meant to be an adjacent angle, what should you do right there? Write it down. Define it. Define what we mean by adjacent angles. You need a common language to be successful. Yes, Nathan.
So an adjacent angle is just that.
An adjacent angle. So let me point this out to you. Brooklyn right now, she is adjacent to you. What does that mean?
Next.
Right. Adjacent just means next to. Notice how they are sharing a side right here, and they are next to each other. They're adjacent to each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, in real world thing and expressions, so they just like high or cheese.
It's like a what?
High or cheese. Every place.
Kinda, yes. Alright. Any questions about number 3?
Excuse me to interrupt. Somebody, the students to take all the cameras back to Miss GB's room. Take all the
You can-
cameras back to Miss.
You can throw those away as we leave, or you can hold on to them for now. We're not done for today, though. We still got a good 6 minutes of learning. Alright. So at this point, we are looking at activity 1.3. So, what's your... Are we done with the folder? Okay. And then we talked about that change for throughout. Alright. Oh, that's not good. So, sorry, we got 5 good minutes learning, and we're going to do at least work for the next 2 to 3. Looking at this. Please listen. Making arguments about statements in mathematics may seem like a rigid process at times, but it can also involve a lot of creativity. I want to talk about this word argument though, because this is important for everything I ask you to do in my class. What do you think it means to make an argument?
Something I'm good at.
Hey, God.
It's something you disagree on.
Okay? So here's the thing. Listen, you don't have to disagree when it comes to an argument. And that's where a lot of people misunderstand what an argument actually is. An argument is based on, the way you think about an argument is based on this idea. And so this creates an issue for some students in a math class because we don't actually understand what an argument is. So here is an example of an argument.
Oh, can I be the person you want?
I'm not arguing with anybody. That's the thing. An argument doesn't have to be me arguing with you. Here's an argument. The sum of A, B, and C will be 90 degrees because the 3 adjacent angles create a right angle. That's an argument.
I think
You're wrong, because we just proved that it's 90 degrees.
but if you were paying.
Okay? Now listen. Listen, you may be trying to argue with me right now, but that's not the point of this. What I just made was an argument. I made first a claim. What was the claim that I created?
That A, B, and B, C, and D equal 90 degrees.
The sum of angles A, B, and C add up to 90 degrees. That was the claim. But then I also provided what?
Evidence.
Evidence. That is what an argument is. On every assessment, I ask you to justify your answers, don't I? I'm asking you to learn how to develop an argument, to make a claim and provide evidence for that claim. Please, right here, highlight that word, box it, star it, whatever, and make sure you note, because this is foundational to everything I do. This is make a claim and provide evidence for that claim. Notice, you do not have to argue with people. Wesley, you awake over there, buddy? Come on, head up. You do not have to argue with somebody else to have an argument, but when you argue with someone, are you making claims?
Good afternoon, okay?
And you have evidence, hopefully? But this is all an argument really is. So we're going to finish up activity 1.3 tomorrow, work on our arguments.
Hey, we can throw this one.
Directly to the
You
theater.
can. You can also hold on to it and put it in your notebook. But like if you put it right into the seam of your book, it'll stay there. It's your choice. Okay?
Have a good day at your school. Anybody got a
Okay. Hey, pause. Excuse me. Pause. Listen. Excuse me. Pause. Nathan, what does pause mean to you?
Stop.
Thank you. It just means stop. No, pause means stop. I definitely think this is very true for a lot of us today, that there has been some good learning. However, what are all of you capable of
Learning more.
but of more? Remember, you have all learned, but we are still capable of more. Don't sell yourself short. That, by the way, was the homework that was due on Friday if you have not done it already. We're doing that.
News, man.
If you can, hey Kyla, if you can, tomorrow it's 2 days later, 20% off. If you can take a picture of it and email it, that's not fair. Okay.
I was supposed to see some weird Mickey Mouse. On my mind, because I thought like that was like, nah, I'm just trying to draw. I'm trying to draw Mickey Mouse.
Hold up, that fella's not wrong. Have a good rest of your day. This is the homework those two?
I wasn't in here to give it to you yesterday. Friday.
Friday? Okay.
So are you gonna come on for it?
You were in here on Friday. You fell asleep, my guy.
But you never, but when the time I was in here, you never said kind of in.
I did. When you were in here. I'll be nice to you, but you were definitely in here.
Because I do not remember that happening. All I remember is coming in, and we instantly start the understanding check. That's what I remember.
And then you came back and fell asleep after we finished the understanding check.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, same. I remember that as well.